With the NBA season slowly approaching, you have to ask yourself one question. What's the expectations for the Miami Heat? For the last half decade, it's been championship or bust. And while Jimmy Butler remains on the roster, it's safe to say that that will remain the case. But for some of Heat Nation, there has been some concern, mainly due to roster construction. Of course, we do believe in our players. We have people like Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Terry Rozier, Jaime Jaquez Jr., and even bronze medalist Nikola Jovic. From my perspective, this roster without injury can make it to the NBA Finals. However, there's one reasonable player in the NBA who is the best fit for the Miami Heat. And with him on his team, they will guarantee at least be able to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Just last season, this player averaged 13.4 points, 2.4 assists, 4.3 rebounds, and shot 44% from the field and 39% from three-point territory. From stats alone, you can tell that he's a guy that can fit in with the Heat roster. But let me tell you this, he is a versatile defender. He's a guy that has been to the NBA Finals. He can cut to the basket, he can shoot the three, and when healthy, I highly doubt that any team would be able to beat him alongside Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Honestly, he is one of the most underrated players in the NBA, and that's because he plays for the Brooklyn Nets. If you don't know by now, the Miami Heat should make a trade for Cam Johnson. Not only is he great because of what he can do for this team, but he only makes $22 million a year, and on top of that, he has been injury prone. Now, some of you might look at that as a negative, but whenever it comes down to making a trade, that can work in our favor. I mean, we could give up Terry Rozier or Duncan Robinson, but we know that we have to give up a first or maybe a first and a second round pick to get this type of deal done. In my opinion, it is worth it because he can play alongside Jimmy Butler, or if he's out with injury, he can replace him and have a positive impact on this team. I mean, just look at it. Jimmy Butler will usually try to guard the best player on the opposing team. And while Bam Adebayo is roaming the floor, taking his pickings on who he wants on defense, Cam Johnson is a guy that can guard the second or third best player on the team. Honestly, I want a starting lineup of Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Cam Johnson, Bam Adebayo, and last and not least, the newly found rookie, Khalil Ware. Then, if we get rid of Duncan Robinson off the bench, we'd have Jaime Jaquez Jr., Terry Rozier, Nikola Jovic, Kevin Love, Alec Burks, Thomas Bryant, and even Josh Richardson. Now, I'm not saying that this would be the best team in the NBA, but it'll be interesting enough to the fact that I'd say that this team can make it to the NBA Finals. I know a lot of people say that we're not ready, but that's that underdog mentality that we would love to keep. I mean, we don't have that many nationally televised games. That belongs to teams like the Lakers, the Boston Celtics, those big market teams with a lot of star-studded players. But let's just fly under the radar like we usually do. Every single game we have to play hard, but with a good bench like this, we can sub guys in and out and try to maintain those leads so we can prevent injury whenever it comes down to the playoffs. That's really been the main concern for the Miami Heat. I mean, look at the past. There's been the Golden State Warriors, strength in numbers, and whenever they said that, that stuck with me. Whenever you can rest during games, that's one of the most underrated things you can do in the NBA. But let's put that to a pause. I did get a little excited, and I know I want Cam Johnson on this roster, but let's talk about why would this make sense for the Brooklyn Nets. For one, this team has no direction currently, just off of the fact that they traded Mikal Bridges to the New York Knicks just a month or two ago. They've been acquiring assets, and they will be preparing for next free agency. Just think about it. Ben Simmons, who is making $40 million this upcoming season, will be off the roster. Other notable players that will be leaving is Bojan Bogdanovic and Dennis Schroeder. Dorian Finney-Smith has a player option for next season, but I can almost guarantee you that he will be traded from the Brooklyn Nets. So that leaves $73 million that will be accounted for this team. The only players that do have long-term deals is Cam Johnson and Nick Claxton. So if you end up getting rid of these guys and replace them with players with expiring deals, then you can go big whale hunting in the next free agency with players on the list like Lauri Markkanen, Brandon Ingram, LeBron James, Jamal Murray, Kyrie Irving, Jimmy Butler himself, and even role players like Aaron Gordon, Miles Turner, Naz Reid, and Brook Lopez. That's just some names that I could come up with off the top of my head, but you get the point. The Brooklyn Nets can be in a better position than any other team in the NBA. They can sign notable free agents. They have assets to make trades in the foreseeable future, so they can be the next Oklahoma City Thunder, Boston Celtics, maybe the next San Antonio Spurs, who a lot of people find to be not too much of a great team, but I think that they're a sleeper to make it into the playoffs next year. If only the Miami Heat could pitch something like this to them, then they will be able to get a deal done. We can almost guarantee that we can make it to the NBA Finals. There's no more play-in tournament. There's only good and positive vibes for Heat Nation. And that's only the things that we want to see. Us winning or us rebuilding. There's no in between. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think that the Miami Heat should make a trade for Cam Johnson? Should we do anything at all? And while you answer that in the comment section, make sure you follow me on both of my Instagram pages, my Twitch accounts, and when you do that, there'll never be anything that you'll miss, with Scotty Ice included. Now, I do have two questions, you guys, and my first one is, do you think that the Miami Heat can make it to the NBA Finals with their current roster? In my opinion, I believe that they can, but we all know that health is a concern. Let's not forget, the Miami Heat has one of the best developmental staffs in the entire NBA. So I'm more so interested in what Jaime Jaquez Jr., Nikola Jovic, and Khalil Ware all do next season. They're on our radar, and they can all be star-studded players. So let's keep an eye on them, and I'll be able to give you a better answer within the first 2 months. Now, the second question that I have for today is, who is the next best option after Jimmy Butler? To me, I think that it should be Bam Adebayo. And if anything, we need Bam Adebayo to get confident enough to try to be that number one option. I mean, he's been in the Olympics. He has a gold medal. He does have the offensive game. We just needed him to be in a better position to play a little bit less defense. Not for the fact of, okay, he's getting gold or he has some injury problems, but we know that he can develop and be something great. He has this talent. He has been selected to the defensive teams. He has been a guy that has almost averaged 20 points per game consistently in the league, and he barely shoots from three-point territory. He's only 27 years old, so there should be no excuse to why he can't expand his game. And if the Heat don't take the necessary precautions now, then it will only be their fault. Not Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler's, or Tyler Hero's. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. I appreciate all you guys loving your support. And as always, this your boy Scotty Ice. I love talking to you guys. And you already know, I'm out.